Our Boston Celtics, winners out of 5 out of the last 6 games, reviewing the absolutely incredible finish to the Chicago Bulls battle and the MLK battle against the New Orleans Pelicans, which seen our Boston Celtics pull off another win, making it 2 in a row. Let's recap it next, guys. As far as the New Orleans Pelicans side, showing love to Jonas Valanciunas, who was very dominant, showing again a weakness that we can have at times with the front court size of some of these bigs, especially in the East, having 22 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists. Following up behind him, Brandon Ingram, stats will show he had 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. However, at the same time, he was kind of shaky. I thought Jason Tatum did a great job D'ing up on him, making some good plays late. He was 0 for 4 from 3. You had, Josh Hart actually starting this game for them, having 13 points, 9 rebounds. And otherwise, like I said, it really just was Valanciunas to me. I thought he was the one that gave us the majority of the problem. Graham even, look at him, 4 for 14 for 11 points, 5 assists. He's one of their better players. With this team not having Zion Williamson, they are only going to go as far as he takes them, especially when Ingram's off, 6 for 19 from the field. It would have been cool because this is the team that Juancho's brother plays for, so it would have been cool to see Willie and Juancho go head up against each other. But transitioning over to the Celtics side of things, for me, my player of the game would have been Jason Tatum if I had to, give it to one. Valanciunas would have been theirs. Tatum would have been ours. Jason Tatum with 27 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Another one, 0 for 4 from 3, just like his Duke alum counterpart, Brandon Ingram. Jason Tatum only had 6 points in the first half, and it's a no wonder we literally almost found ourselves down by 20 at a point in the first half. I think it was 18-19 to be exact. And then they came back in that second half and had a 30-8 run or whatever it was, something along those lines. But all of a sudden, Jason Tatum, guess what he did in the second half? 21 points, finishing with 27. So I think Dennis Schroeder would be a close second, as well as Jaylen Brown. Dennis Schroeder with 23 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. He was excellent, plus 21. You had Jaylen Brown with plus 4. He had 23 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Looking at some of our other guys, fortunately, we didn't have Rob Williams. Not having Rob Williams, obviously, definitely boosted Valanciunas in his performance because we didn't have that presence down there. Al Horford, he did finish with 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 2 for 5 from 3, hitting actually 2 big shots. So it's just good to see him get into a flow, especially after how his start to the year has been when it comes to shooting. I thought Aaron Nesmith had a huge dunk. There was some big play, especially in that second half, that Jason Tatum steal to the dunk, that Aaron Nesmith dunk. A lot of energy behind that one. Grant Williams, I thought, was solid, 10 points, excellent defense, 2 for 5 from 3. But the importance of this game now, guys, puts us at 5 out of the last 6. It puts us at 6-3 for the month of January. We're starting to flow, with the exception to that Philadelphia 76ers game. We had won, 3 straight prior to that? You know what I mean? We're starting to kind of get it together, and we're really starting to see some positive things from this team, and it just looks like it's clicking, especially if they can continue. It'll make everything that happened at the beginning of the year, seem like it'll make so much more sense. If they keep on flowing and keep on rolling from here on out, it'll just make sense that the beginning of the season, the first half was growing pains, getting acclimated to a new coach, new system, new teammates. So, like I said, if January is any indication to the rest of this season, I like what I see. Transitioning over to the game I really want to talk about, and that was the Boston Celtics versus the Chicago Bulls. Like I said, we beat the Pelicans yesterday, MLK Day, handily, and that is exactly what we're supposed to do. They're missing their all-star, their once-in-a-lifetime generational player talent, Zion Williamson. It's 27-8 career numbers in his first 2 years. It's insane. The potential for that young man's through the roof. But We're supposed to win that game, is my point. Now, against the Bulls, this is a team right up at the top of the East. I believe they're the first seed right now. In our favor, no Zach LaVine, no Lonzo Ball. Both of them are actually dealing with a left knee injury. So that put us in a situation where we obviously don't have Marcus Smart. Still, you really can't compare the two. Both teams were coming off of a back-to-back loss at that. We had just been handled by the Philadelphia 76ers. However, they had just gotten their shit kicked out of them by the Golden State Warriors. Not to mention, the Bulls were also coming on 3 straight losses coming into this game. So, showing respect to the opponent, the player of the game for them, it has to be DeMar DeRozan. This guy is playing at an MVP level. You could argue that Vucevic also should, get the award, so to speak. But DeMar, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. He was plus 11, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Came up, missed 2 clutch shots at the end. He had 2 good looks. And, if you look at what this man's done the last couple of weeks with back-to-back incredible shots to win games. My heart was just like, yeah, it's over. As soon as I seen him with it, a chance to win late, I was like, he's going to put another one on his highlight reel. Jason Tatum with absolutely fantastic defense, maybe his best defensive game of the year. Caused DeMar to miss, and then you had a play ran for Vucevic, who, as you see, finished with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. However, he missed a wide open 3 that would have actually given them a 1-point lead. Kobe White balled for them as well. 5 for 10 from the 3, going 50% with 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. They also, I don't want to do Musu. Forgive me if I mispronounce, but this young man, 21 points, 4 rebounds with 10 assists, 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. But transitioning over to our guys, looking at the Boston Celtics guys, player of the game for us was Rob Williams. There's a narrative now going around about, is Rob a 3rd star? And I believe that is as a very fair question. I'll get to it in a minute. But first, Rob Williams, 14 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, 5 for 8 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Now, I'll quickly, forgive me, let's finish up here and I'll go to how the game ended. So, Jason Tatum, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 8 for 23 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. He kind of got cold, especially as the game was coming to a close. Dennis Schroeder was huge for us, especially going down late. Had an incredible left-handed layup and then an excellent alley-oop to Rob late that actually really started to get us energized and fuel the run. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists for Schroeder. You had Jaylen Brown with 19 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, big-time steals. Al Horford actually played his ass off for 15 points, 8 rebounds. He had an assist and a block, 7 for 11 from the field. Coming off the bench, you had Josh Richardson, Jay Rich. Coming off the bench, he actually played nearly 30 minutes, 29 to be exact. He was 3 for 5 from the 3-point line. If you look at him and Pritchard only played 12 minutes and he had 6 points, and actually it was 2 for 5 from 3. So from our bench guys, we had Grant, who was 1 for 2. So we had a total of 12 3-point attempts from our bench, and they actually hit 6 of them. So 50% from 3 from our bench. But like I said, Josh Richardson leading the way with 13 points. You had Ennis coming in also with 5 points. And then, like I said, Peyton Pritchard with his 6 points on those 2 threes. So transitioning back, guys. Like I said, the way that game ended was absolutely phenomenal. Coming out, the Celtics were hot. Coming out, Jason Tatum with, it was a good start to the game. It really was. We came out and actually, looked good. However, I believe it was Jason had, 13 points in the first quarter alone. Bulls battled back, and then it, went into this tug of war. Bulls eventually started to pull away a little bit. However, with about 3 minutes to go, I believe we were down by about 6 to 8 points, right? Well, then we had this thing where you had the run began. Like I said, that was where the Schroeder left hand and then the alley-oop to Rob. Well, there was about a minute left. Inbound, Jaylen Brown hits the 3. About a minute left, right? Then they come down, they miss it. Then you come back down, you got Rob, who has not gone to the free throw line at all, gets fouled, takes his first 2 attempts, makes them both, right? Now I believe the game is tied at that point. They go back down, miss another shot. Then You come back down again, or no, you don't even. Vucevic actually fouled him on the rebound. I believe it was a push in the back. It was a foul though on Vuce. And being in the penalty, Rob goes to the line. Again, this is a guy who shoots 68% from the free throw line. He nailed them both, finishing 4 for 4 from the free throw line, giving us a 2-point lead. Like I said, he was fouled with about 30 seconds to go, hit the first two, then fouled with, at the end of the game, hit those as well. Then you, on our end, on the defensive end, you got DeMar DeRozan with a great look. You had Vooch with a play designed, where they trapped DeMar. He gave it to Vooch on basically a wide open three. Jalen was kind of closing out, but you know how it looked like he was contesting, but he wasn't. And it was it was a great look, and he missed it. Then you had DeMar with another opportunity. So essentially you had 3 opportunities from the Bulls. 2 from DeMar DeRozan, 1 from Nikola Vucevic. You're talking about 2 all-stars who have been absolutely rolling with the #1 team on the East. And it was absolutely nerve-wracking. But this is a game where the Bulls literally shot better from the field and three-point line. They had more assists, less turnovers, nearly twice as few turnovers. And what is important about this is the Celtics coming into this game were 3-11 in games that were decided within 5 points. So once again, 3-11. So when you're talking about a team that's hovering right around 500, that's 11 losses that were decided by 5 points or less that they could have potentially won. And if you think about how close this East is, 3, 4, 5 wins of a difference puts you all the way up in a different tier. So very proud of them to close this out, especially if you remember that the last time the Bulls is what was the November 1st 19-point, worst loss of the season at that time. You remember that one? Ugh. But Schroeder, like I said, he was excellent attacking tonight. The alley-oop, the left hand, I keep, mentioning it. But he was fantastic. Back-to-back games, I've really liked what I've seen for him. He actually blasted, I believe, Gary Washburn or I forget who it was, but I believe he blasted somebody in the post game who was like, "You had 1 point against Philadelphia," and he's like, it's kind of like, what does that have to do with these last 2 games? I've played great. Like, what are you talking shit about? Who cares? We lost against Philadelphia. We won 5 out of the last 6. He basically said, I don't care if I have 1 point or 50. If we win, we win. Perfect answer, and I thought Schroeder had every right to be a little irritated, so go check that out. Like I said, Jason Tatum, maybe his best defensive performance of the season thus far, but the man of the hour, player of the game for this one was Rob Williams. The narrative now is Rob Williams that third star? Well, looking ahead at him right now on the season, what's he averaging? Right around 10 points, 9 rebounds, 2 plus blocks, maybe right under 2 steals. Well, if you look at this run they're on, the 5 out of the last 6, with the exception to the Pacers game that he got, the stitches in, if you took that out, he's in this run averaging 13 points, nearly 12 rebounds, nearly 3 blocks, and nearly 3 assists. Do I think Rob Williams is the number 3 star? No, I don't. I first want people to not forget, even though he's only been in the league, several years, and guys like Miles Turner, for example, has been in the league for 7 years? Seems like almost twice as long, right? Rob is 24, turning 25. Miles is only 25. So, Rob's 24, Miles Turner's is 25. So, he's not that young, you know what I mean, as it may seem, compared to some of the other guys. Like, Miles Turner and him are only about a year and a half difference in age. So, it's not like he's 21, 22, you know what I mean? But I think he's evolved. He's clearly taken the next step. He is clearly a starter. Let's not forget, guys, just a year ago, he wasn't even getting starter level minutes. Now you're getting the guy nearly 30 plus minutes a game. I think he is a starting level center. I think that going into next season, we may have arguably one of the best contracts in the entire NBA. Rob Williams making 10, 11, 12 million a season over the next 4 years. Contracts don't get more valuable than that. I think he is a starting caliber center, and I think he's fantastic with this group. They all love him. He has been an absolute defensive anchor, and I do 100% agree that he is all NBA defensive worthy, all defensive team worthy consideration wise. Even if it's second team, if there was a third team, he would, be on it. But not sure first team, but he definitely projects there. He, to me, is... My concern with Rob is I don't want him to just end up being a DeAndre Jordan offensively. Just that guy that sets the screen and just can only catch the lob. And he does that as good as anyone. The athletic plays, the dunks out of nowhere. He plays, his vertical spacing is insane. When he comes down the middle of the lane, the defense has to respect that, and they have to show attention to that. If not, he's going up above everyone and he's slamming it down. He's great at that. He has to develop more, especially in today's NBA. He needs to get a 15-footer, a 20-footer. I don't need to see him shooting threes, but if he could take, 5 steps away from the hoop and shoot that all day, KG, right up at the top of the I don't care. Anywhere. Just get a specialty shot that is a jumper somewhere away from the basket. He needs to be able to score away from the basket is my point. It doesn't need to be a 3-point sharpshooter. He doesn't need to become Brook Lopez or Al Horford, but do remember that those were guys that, go look up both of them. They were guys early in their career, they were not shooting threes at all, and if they were, it was like shit, not great percentages, and they both at stretches became really good 3-point shooters. So can it be done? Yes. He's only 24, so by the time Rob's 30, could he have a 3-point shot up? Sure. But I do believe that, though I don't think he'll be a third star, so to speak, I definitely see, him being like an incredibly important piece to any core, especially this core. And I could see him as like the number 4 kind of star. Like I love Marcus Smart. And I love him to death, I do. But if he's our number 3, if you could switch him out, right? Imagine, or not even switch him out, if you just bumped him down, if they were able to bring in another guy, like somehow, I don't know, whoever the star is, even a guy like a Christian Wood, I'll say his name over and over, but like that caliber player. So I'm not saying like the star, a superstar among superstars, a Buddy Hield, a DeJounte Murray, got those caliber players. I'm not just that. Don't start thinking names specifically, just caliber. That guy would probably fit as the number 3, right? That's fair. And then Rob would be right behind them. If we have Marcus, maybe you're looking at Marcus and Rob right behind him. That would be perfect is where I'm going at. If you can bring in that guy to fit along the Jays as that number 3 option, especially when it comes to the scoring end, that's kind of why I was saying a Buddy Hield, just a guy that can go out there and average more points than Rob, somewhere between 15 and 20, and is a sharpshooter, for example, or a playmaker, fits one of the big needs so to speak. I think that would be fantastic. And I think that right there is how close the Celtics really are to taking it to that next level. If they have that next person, because I think Rob is really transcending into like something special. I really do think he's evolving. His ass is that Pokemon going, from the, second to the third evolution. He's coming out as a Charizard. So it's kind of like one of those things, guys. The hyperbolic time chamber, his ass has come out of it and he's looking like Goku Super Saiyan. It's like, I love the progression with Rob Williams. I can't say that enough. And I'm not trying to shit on him in any way. This is all compliments. I'm not trying to say, oh my God, he can't be a third star. When he's, 10 years from now, 8 years from now, I don't know. Who knows what this kid's potential is? It's through the roof, though. But if that question is right now, today, can he be their third star? Today, not yet, no. In the future, who knows? Maybe on that next contract he signs? Maybe, but right now, I think the path forward is to just find that third person to go right behind the Jays, that fits that specific need of either shooting or playmaking. You know what I mean? And if somehow you can hold on to the Jays, obviously you're holding on to the Jays, but Rob, too, is now in there for me as well. He's not obviously untouchable, but core, if you could hold on to him and Smart and maybe bring in somebody else to go in like with that 4, you know what I mean? Like send out a Horford or, Horford and Richardson, and you get back this guy. You know what I mean? Put him with the rest of those 4, and I really like the foundation this team is starting to get. That's why you always hear me say they are not a blow-up away. They are 1 to 2 right moves away from being right back in the mix, guys. I'm almost finished with my Rewind in Time episode 3. It is going over Isaiah Thomas and his career. I actually go over the entirety of his career with the focus and emphasis on the Boston Celtics tenure. You know, that it's so nostalgic looking back on that run. It was so incredible, man, and I miss those days so much. But that will be out, if not tomorrow, at some point, late tomorrow, either early Thursday. But like I said, almost done. Trust the podcast. We'll be doing episode 12 here. That'll be dropping later this week. And me and B Smooth, Bobby, have been actually working, and our brains have been just in a grinder together. And I think we've come up with some really interesting and incredible directions to move forward with. So stay tuned for some big announcements coming from me and B Smooth. But otherwise, guys, Jags to riches, James Peters, Boston Celtics, 5 out of the last 6. Let's roll. Please like and subscribe. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for your time. Until the next time, guys, I hope you have an incredible conclusion to your day. Thank you so much.